What's up, everybody? It's your guy, William Fry, here with part two of what you should tell your child or your new driver if they get pulled over while they're driving. Once again, this series of videos is geared towards, people of a different skin complexion. So that's the target audience for this particular series. Good information for everybody, but black folks, Hispanic folks have a tendency to need this information more than the other folks. So that's who this is geared to. The first video in this series was actually geared towards you have a new driver, your parents need to have a talk with your kid about how to react if they get pulled over. And it's, a pretty standard traffic stop. So watch that first one, and that's just everything goes smoothly. Everything happens, as it should. It should be good. Now, what happens if, say, you're on the phone? They do your child does everything they should do. They pulled over to the right as soon as it was safe. Including signaling, of course. They pulled over to the right. They put the car in park. They put your parking brake on. They put the car in accessory, so your dash cam is recording, plus audio inside, back, and inside the vehicle and in front. Your kid's done everything. You're on the other line. You're just listening into the interaction, and the first thing that you hear is maybe the cop speaker saying, "Get out the car," or of course, he did everything. He's got the windows down. He's got his paperwork. He's got his license ready. He's got the registration ready. He's got his insurance either out of the glove compartment or on his phone or whatever, ready to show him. Your kid's done everything that they're supposed to do. And the cop is either yelling at him through the speaker on his car, or he gets to the window and starts going off on your kid. Or trying to take him out of the vehicle or anything crazy right off the top. Okay, as a parent, yeah, your blood pressure is going to get up right then and there. But you need to call up the dispatch for that local police department, because you should know where your kid is. Because either GPS, you could have a tracker on his phone or on the car, or hopefully your kid called you and said, "Hey, I'm getting pulled over for this. I'm pulling over now. I just want to make sure that you can hear what's going on." And you know exactly where they're at. You're going to call that local police department. You're going to call a dispatch and say, "Hey, my son just got pulled over. My kid just got pulled over. He's at so-and-so. He just got pulled over by somebody. I need you to send a supervisor over to that location." And let them know that I, as their parent, I'm also headed over to that location to make sure that my kid is okay. And then reiterate where that location is, and then get off the phone. Go back to listening to the interaction as far as your kid goes. Now, if that cop is tripping out, let's say he's, either yelling at him, say it's a felony stop for some reason, and you hear, the car speakers going off, telling him to get out the car, and, of course, if he's on that horn, chances are there's guns pointed at him. Or if you hear the cop walk up to the window and he's just going off on your kid, or anything like that, that's not how it's supposed to go. As an adult, that's not how it's supposed to go. We're going to get pulled over. We already know that. Black folks, Hispanic folks, we already know we're going to get pulled over at a higher rate. We already know that. That's goes without saying. What's not supposed to happen is being treated any differently than any other group of people. But we know it happens. So, if your kid is pulled over, cop gets to the window, he's yelling at him, going off. He doesn't introduce himself. He doesn't identify himself. He doesn't say what he's stopping him for. He just goes out and starts either yelling or talking about he's going to grab him out of the car. First of all, if there's a cop trying to grab your kid out of the car, let your kid know, not to yell at the cop, but to let you know, because you should be on the other line. You should be on that cell phone. So let him know, "Hey, Mom, Dad, whoever, this guy is trying to take me out of the car." Right then, if you haven't already called dispatch and said, "Hey, get your supervisor out there, call that cop and tell him to leave that damn kid alone," and let them know that you're on your way. As their parent, you need to do that. Do it quick and get on your way over there. That's not to say run somebody else's kid over while you're driving over there. You know, but you want to get over there to intervene if you need to intervene. Being, you know, keep it in mind you're dealing with the cops. You don't want to sit there and get shot because somebody's, you know, being stupid that's wearing a badge. You know, you want to make sure you do your proper steps also as a parent, because you can't just drive up there and jump on the cop's back and say, leave my kid alone. No, you're going to get shot. So you don't do that. You know, just let them know you're over there and you're going to be a witness to what's going on. You're going to be recording whatever you need to do, but you're going to make sure it's all documented, along with, hopefully you've got the dash cam, front, rear, interior, and audio hardwired in. Because if a cop is messing with somebody and they see there's a dash cam and it's plugged into that cigarette lighter, guess what's getting pulled out? Yep. It's that cigarette lighter plug. Power's gone. But dash cam, front, rear, audio, and interior, hardwired, he can't do that. And he don't know, because hopefully the radio was turned down, but he don't know that the accessory's on. Everything's being recorded, not only by his body cam, if he has a body cam, but by your camera. You might not be able to see everything, excuse me, but you can see the car behind. You can hear everything inside the vehicle. You can hear everything that's going on, and you can see that driver's seat. When you download the video, of course, you're not going to see it in live while it's happening, unless you have that type of dash cam, which I do sell. If you want, just let me know. I can give you the web address to that website. But if it seems like it's going down south, that interaction is going south right out from the top, then yes, you're going to want to intervene as quickly as possible. Calling up, get a supervisor over there, have the dispatch call that cop, let them know that there's a supervisor on their way and they need to stand down and they need to get back in their vehicle, leave that kid alone, and then let them know that you are on your way to that location also. And from there, you know, hopefully supervisor gets there, you get there, or dispatch contacts that officer before he does something stupid to say, hey, you're being watched, you're being recorded. Somebody else knows what's going on and you're going to be held to account. So hopefully that'll prevent a lot of the madness if you have that conversation with your kid, with your new driver, your young driver, regardless if they're passenger, their driver, especially if they're the driver. But if they're a passenger and they get pulled over and say the driver, they don't have a dash cam, let your kid know, hey, it is perfectly okay. Open up that app. Open up your camera. They're still going to call you and say, hey, mom, dad, hey, I'm over here. I'm with so-and-so, so-and-so. You know, yeah, I'm not the driver. I'm the passenger right now. And he just got pulled over and we're at, you know, wherever we're at. And I just wanted you to know and tell him to put the camera on record and just record the interaction. He ain't got to say, when the cop walks in, he ain't got to say, hey, I got you on record. You know, he ain't got to do all that. Just record it. You sit in the back seat, sit in the passenger seat. Boom, right there. Cop comes to the passenger seat, passenger window. Boom, right there. Just record it. Record the interaction. And when it's all said and done, then they can give you a call back and say, hey, mom, yeah, we're on our way. Yeah, he got a ticket or he got a warning or whatever. Or if you don't hear back from him in a couple of minutes, then it could be like, hey, call up dispatch right where they were at. Say, hey, you got an officer over there just pulled over a car full of kids or whatever it might be. One of them's my kid. I need a supervisor to get over there and make sure this guy is not being, we're going to call him a butthole, But make sure this guy is doing his job and not trying to take advantage of a car full of black kids. So have those pieces of information ready. If your child, if your new driver tends to go through certain cities on a regular basis, collect those dispatch phone numbers. Have them on the fridge. Have them on your phone. Have them somewhere where you can refer to them at any given moment. And if you need to call up that dispatch, say, hey, one of your guys just pulled over my kid. He's in a car, whatever car your kid said he was in, and he's over in this area right here. One of your officers has him pulled over, or the car he's in pulled over. I need you to get a supervisor over there. And I am headed over there myself also, just to make sure, because what I heard in the background did not sound like a normal traffic stop. It didn't sound like this guy was just doing his job and was going to give him a ticket or give whatever. So I'm on my way, and I want you to get a supervisor over there now. And then you hang up and you go over there and you make sure your kid's okay. Because, there's just riding around, doing what kids do, doing what teenagers do. Hopefully they're not sitting there doing 95 in a 35 or something like that. Then, they're little buttholes, and they need to learn better. They don't need to get shot. Don't get me wrong. But they need to learn. I mean, a little bit of being scared might do them a little bit of good. Because, once again, your chances are already lower of surviving an encounter just because your skin is a little bit different color than that guy's is. So, same situation. Don't go in there trying to be super dad or super mom and trying to jump in the middle, because you're going to get yourself shot. And then what good's that going to do your kid? It's not going to do any good for you to be in jail or dead. And your kid's like, well, this didn't work out at all. Or your kid to be shot or dead or in jail or whatever. It just doesn't work out. So this first couple of videos is geared towards, we're just going to do everything. We got everything legal. We got everything we're supposed to do. Minor infraction, not signaling or, illegal lane change or turn or speeding or something stupid like that. Just everyday stuff. Don't jump on them. They should know to give you a call, and you are a safe call to make. You're not there to yell or he just said he got pulled over. He's so-and-so. You need to shut up. You need to be prepared to listen. You need to make sure you have access to the dispatch offices. You need to let them know, roll down those windows so the guy can see inside the car, and he's not shining his flash. He got no reason to do any of that stuff. What you're listening for is the initial interaction, because that's going to tell you everything that you need to know. That initial interaction was, hi, I'm Officer so-and-so. I stopped you for so-and-so. Do you have your license, registration, and insurance? It's a regular interaction. He's not yelling. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. Now, don't get me wrong. If your kid turns around, he's being a smart ass talking about why'd you pull us over and all that after he just said that, then, you need to have a talk with your kid or his friend or whoever it is, because his friend's going to turn around and get your kid shot because his friend's an idiot. So make sure they know that if they're in that vehicle, if their friend starts mouthing off, tell them to stop that crap. Tell them to shut the heck up. You do what you're supposed to do, give them what you're supposed to give, and move on. Get the encounter over and done with. You don't want to sit there and be there for an extra 5, 10, 20 minutes, or even a bullet to the chest or the head because the friend is being a butthole or too stupid to realize that, hey, I just got pulled over. It's because of something that I did, most likely. But still, be civil, even if the idiot that pulled you over is not being civil. And I say idiot just because there are some idiots out there. That's not to say all cops are idiots. They're not. I know some really cool cops. And I get, even now, as a grown person over 50 years old, I get pulled over probably every couple of months. So for different stupid crap, but I'm also a very aggressive driver, and you know, I drive like I drive. I don't get tickets. I get pulled over a lot, but I know how to handle those situations now. Like I said, I've been getting pulled over on a regular basis since I was 16 years old. I got my driver's license on my 16th birthday at 9:10 in the morning. 97 out of 100 on that driving test. And that 3 points was driving too slow in a car that I'd never driven before in my life. So, been driving for a long time. I've had a lot of these interactions. These first two are geared towards parents who want to have the talk with their kids. So, they're a driver, do everything as they're supposed to. They're a passenger, make sure your window's down. All the windows in the vehicle should be down. They should be calling mom or dad or whoever's, available and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm with so-and-so. We are here at this spot right here. And he just got pulled over. So I just wanted to let you know that we just got pulled over. And then same thing. He can record. You should be still standing on the line or whatever. So he can record, hang up, whatever it might be. But if you don't hear back from him in, 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5, if you're feeling really okay about it, then yeah, you may want to call back, or, if you don't get an answer, call dispatch and say, hey, my kid was just pulled over so-and-so. I need a supervisor to head over there. I'm headed over there myself also. And then do what you got to do. Once again, don't go in there trying to be Superman, because Superman's bulletproof. Black folks ain't bulletproof. Yeah, it's just not. We're just not. Take a bullet. They try to test that theory out every once in a while, and every time it ends up bad for the black person, because as a general rule, they don't get held to account for making us targets. Usually. So don't go up there trying to be Superman, because you ain't bulletproof. You're going up there to make sure your kid is okay, to record if you need to record, to talk with the supervisor to make sure everything that's supposed to be done is being done, and to find out why, if it's the case, this particular traffic stop is being treated differently than any other traffic stop would go. If you get there and your kids are out on the curb or something like that, why? How or why did this happen? To the supervisor. Don't worry about the cop, because you already know that he's probably, I'm not going to say biased, I don't want to say racist, but he ain't trying to do what he's supposed to do. He's doing extra stuff. So you're going to talk to the supervisor and talk to him, like they're just a cop doing their job. So, video number 3 coming soon. This one will be towards people more like me. And I'll show you what, as I get pulled over on a pretty regular basis. I'll pull some clips out, because once again, I've got the dash cam, front, rear, interior, audio. I got it all. Mine is all set up, because I've been going through this for a minute. So I'll record another videos. I'll put some clips up there, and cops, maybe at the window, back of the car. I've gotten pulled over all over this country. I know it's nothing to be proud of, but I drive like I drive, but I generally know how to handle it, even if it turns out to be some racist POS. And I very rarely get a ticket. I mean, it's been years. Heck, last year I think I got pulled over at least 9 or 10 times. Didn't get not a one ticket. And it's all over the country. So, see you in the next video. Remember, watch the first one. The next one will be towards people like me, just your regular, everyday drivers that happen to be black adults and know what they're supposed to be doing.